Today we're taking a look at the DYU C1 E-Bike. This thing has really impressed me over the last few weeks or so. I've been riding it for about a month now, and we're going to talk about all the specs and take you out and really test this thing out on trails, on roads, and let you know what it's like to live with every single day. First of all, it comes in the box really well packaged, and it comes with everything as well that you need to get started. All the tools, including the key to remove the battery, because you can charge the battery indoors if you want to, and then the instruction manual as well, so you can get up on the road and riding as soon as possible. The setup process took me about 20 minutes. Everything's pretty much assembled apart from the front wheel, the saddle, the handlebars. You just have to put those on. Really easy. If you've got any experience at all of putting bikes together, then you'll have no problems. It's really straightforward, and you've got the instructions anyway to keep you in the right direction. So before we go out on the road, a few specs. This has got a 350 watt hub motor. It is IP54 water resistant. You've got a range of 27 miles with throttle only, or 40 miles with pedal assist. It's got a 36 volt 10 amp battery, and it has a limited speed of 15.4 miles per hour to be legal here in the UK in Europe. So it is fully road legal. Apart from the little grey area of the throttle, this thing is perfectly fine to ride on UK roads.
You know what, the riding experience is really pleasant. You know, you've got that cadence sensor which you have to think about, but apart from that, like, it's very comfortable. I do like the grips because you've got sort of a palm rest on there. The saddle is very comfortable. You can sit in this for a couple of hours easy without getting too sore. The actual position is quite compact, so you're not stretching over too far. You're quite upright, which is nice. So the actual geometry of the bike is quite compact, so it's like an upright position, which is good. It's nice, I like it. The tyres are one of my favourite things. The tyres are actually like, well, they're kind of like BMX tyres. They're very, very chunky. I really like them. I think they were 60 millimetre tyres, but you're very comfortable, pump them up nice, and you're going to get some nice cushioning along with the suspension. Uh-oh, we've got a bridge coming up. Yeah, so the actual riding experience of it is really pleasant. It's comfortable. Yeah, it's got some basic stuff on it, but you know what, for a cruiser, a canal cruiser like this, or a commuter, it's more than capable of taking these kind of environments on and being very comfortable. A nice leisurely ride is what we're doing now in the sunshine. It's absolutely beautiful out here today. And having that bit of extra power with that motor on the back really does make for a really pleasant riding experience, although it's a bit windy. There's two kinds of motors, there's cadence and torque. Cadence are generally found on the cheaper bikes like this one. Now, cadence is a little bit less efficient than the torque motors. That's why you get them on more expensive e-bikes. And there is a bit of a delay when I start pedaling, it then kicks in, so you have to get used to that kind of delay when you're riding it. You soon actually get used to it. It's not that much of an issue. And that's actually why I like having a throttle on these cheaper e-bikes. I don't know why they are legal actually. It's a bit of a daft law if you ask me, especially when the bike is actually limited to 15.4 miles an hour anyway. You can press the throttle, it kicks in, and it just gives you that little bit of a boost when you want to start pedaling away. So if you're at a standstill, that really does help, because you can sort of put the throttle on and then that gives you a boost and then start pedaling and you can start moving. Without that throttle, when you're pulling away from junctions and stuff, there's a little bit of a delay, so you know, and the bike's a bit heavier than a usual bike, obviously because of that battery in there. And it's just a little bit of a struggle to get away. So that's the same with most e-bikes. With a torque sensor, it's actually activated on torque. So as soon as you put your pressure on the pedal, it sort of notifies it more or less that you want to go, and it activates the motor. So there's that little bit of a delay on the cheaper e-bikes. It's just something to know. It's not a massive issue, but on this particular e-bike, having that throttle really, really does help. So that's what I like about it.
So the battery is removable, the 36 volt 10 amp battery. You have to unlock it with the included keys that come in the box from the frame, and it pops out nice and easily. It's very easy to do, and then you can charge it in the house, or you can charge it out of the house in the bike as well. That's convenient if you live in a flat, for instance. You're leaving the bike downstairs locked up and you want to charge the battery upstairs, then you can just take the battery with you rather than lugging the whole bike up the stairs. So it's a good feature. It charged relatively quickly. I've had no problems with the range, no issues at all with the battery. So I got about 32 miles range wise. That was with me using the throttle quite a lot, but with the pedal assist you get up to 40 miles, or with throttle only you get 27 miles. So the range is, you know, decent. It'd probably last you a week of a short commute if you're using this in the city. So yeah, no problems at all. The battery, I've been really impressed with the range and the performance as well.
So you do make a few compromises when you buy an e-bike for £999. You've got non-brand front suspension, for instance, and you know, I've found that to be okay, to be honest, for the kind of riding you're going to be doing on this bike. It's perfectly okay. You've got a non-brand 350 watt hub motor in the back. Again, hub motors is what you generally find on cheaper e-bikes at this sort of price. And you've got cable disc brakes rather than hydraulic disc brakes. And again, perfectly okay for the kind of riding you're going to be doing on this, for leisure rides down towpaths like this, or for city commuting. Everything else is you're fine. You've got Shimano gears on the back, which are all, you know, legendary and really reliable, so you're not going to have any problems there. And you know, everything else is just standard kit. It feels fine. It's good to ride, and it's what you'd expect for a bike of this price. So I've got no real complaints. It's really comfortable, really nice to ride, and you know, you've got this elastic thing on the back to carry any luggage that you want to carry, or your shopping and stuff on here. So it's nice to have a rack on there. You've got mud guards to keep yourself dry in sort of autumn, wintry days as well. Everything's fine.
There are just a couple of nitpicks, a couple of downsides to think about if you are thinking about buying this bike. One really small one was there was no indicator lights on the charger, so I couldn't really, you know, tell if it was charging or not via the charger or on the bike. So, you know, you've just got to take it for granted that it is charging the bike. It did charge the bike, but I'd like a little bit of an indication to let me know that it is charging. So that was just something I noted. And also it's got a pretty low water resistance of IP54. Now the 5 in 54 indicates the dust and solids, so that's out of 6, so it is pretty dust and sort of solid resistant. But when it comes to water resistant, the 4 in 54 indicates the water, and that rating usually is from sort of 0 to 9, so 9 is the highest. So it is 4. So yeah, if you're thinking about taking this out in really inclement weather, then yeah, you might want to think about it twice. But if you're just caught in a rain shower or light puddles and stuff like that, then yeah, I'm sure it'd be perfectly fine. I've had no issues really with me going down the canal in some puddles and stuff. The weather has been pretty decent over the last week of me using it, so I've had no problems. But yeah, it's just a couple of things to think about if you are thinking about purchasing this bike.
So in conclusion, the DYU C1 is a good bike. I fully recommend it if you're after a budget, cheap option to, you know, cruise around and chill. And for me, for, you know, doing kind of things like this, recording videos, it's good to have a device like this so I can actually go out and record some stuff with different action cameras. So I love it. If you're commuting, it'll be a great option because you've got that comfortable ride. You've got the nice motor, good range. You've got the thick tyres on the front. It's going to be very, very comfortable. Yeah, overall, I think it's a decent value e-bike. DYU are a reputable brand. They've been making bikes for a few years now, and they've had different models. I've actually tested one of their folding cheaper bikes in the past, and I was pretty impressed with that as well. People actually buy those to put bigger motors in and customise them a little bit, so there is that option as well. So overall, you know, I think it's a decent bike. I'm quite happy with it. I'll be quite happy recommending it to anybody who's after a cheap e-bike. I've been pleasantly surprised. Okay, that's it for this one anyway. Make sure you do subscribe, press the bell so you don't miss any future uploads, and if you like this kind of video, maybe check out this one up here, and maybe check out that one up there as well. Appreciate you guys. I'll see you on the next one. Bye.